Hey friends, happy Monday. My name is Ray with Dizzy Designer, and this is my segment for the Craft Around the Clock group. We are doing Sunflower Week this week. I'm going to use a piece of scrap wood, which I think is about 4 foot, only because the stencils that I'm using are for 4-foot signs. And then I'm also going to be using some stencils. We're going to be using the Oh Hello There from Essential Stencil. And you can use my code Dizzy Designer at checkout on their website to save on your order. And then I also have this stencil that came just off of Amazon, I believe, and it's sunflowers, or a sunflower. And so that's what we're going to be using today. I have some apple barrel paints. I've got a couple different colors picked out, nutmeg brown. I've got chocolate sprinkle, golden sunset. Of course, these I could change my mind on. Got some baby wipes, and also the Essential Stencil stencil brushes. They are the absolute best, so definitely if you're ordering the stencils, get you some brushes as well. I'm going to tip this down. I'm not sure how this is going to work because this is a long sign, but we're going to try it. And hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. So to start, I'm going to go with some nutmeg brown, and I'm going to use the baby wipe method to stain the board. You could paint the board, you could use actual stain. I've done all the different methods. I'm just going to dip some into my baby wipe, or my baby wipe into my paint. You guys see where I'm at here? And just rub it on the board to get the coverage that I want. And yes, this is going to take a minute because we're going to do the whole background this way. But I love the way it turns out. Hey Deborah, how are you doing today? You can change how much you put on the board if you want it to be lighter or darker in certain areas. I try to keep it pretty consistent across, but sometimes you'll end up just with darker areas anyways, just the way the wood is. And just go in the direction of the wood grain. Just like if you were painting or staining anything else. I'm probably shaking the heck out of you guys too. I didn't think about that. Hopefully you guys are okay. I should have maybe stained this first and just shown you a little piece, but you know, I like to do everything actually live. Oh good, I'm so glad. Hey Lynn, how are you today? It's pretty chilly here today. I tried to go sit outside for a while and I was too cold. I had to come back inside. But I'm a wuss. I like it to be pretty warm. All right, I'm gonna switch this down so you guys can hopefully still see. See there, I didn't really go in the direction of the wood grain. I kind of got a little crooked there. You can kind of fix it, but you just wanna follow it the best you can so that your board stays pretty, oh goodness, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't want it to be like splotchy. You want it to be pretty consistent throughout the whole board. You don't want to have spots that look one way and other spots that look another way. You want it to all flow nicely together. Hello, Tracy. Hi, Donna. Lori and Patsy. How is everybody? So I'm going to go ahead and use a different wipe because this one's starting to shred on me. So you might use a couple wipes for this project, but still, I like it better than using regular stains. And I should have sanded the board too, but I did not. So you can sand your board if you want to, or you should, but mine's gonna look, you know, pretty beat up and rustic because it was just a scrap piece of wood that I had in the garage. See, well, welcome. This part's the boring part. Connect. I hope that you guys reconnect. Oh, there we go. Looks like we're reconnected. Hey, Nancy, welcome, welcome. So happy to have you guys here. I try to go live a couple of times a week. I've been going live Sunday, Monday, and Tuesdays recently. So if you're new, hit the follow button. I'd love to have you join me for some other crafts too. And if you're finding me on my page and you're not in the Craft Around the Clock group, make sure you give us a follow over there. We've got live crafting Monday through Friday, and then we also share replays in the group as well. So there's always something fun. Hello, Edie. Hi, Diane. Patricia, how are you? All right, so I'm not gonna do the sides with you guys on here live because it's boring to watch the same thing over and over again. Let me kind of pop you guys up a minute and show you where we're at. So this is what our board looks like right now. You can distress it if you want to do some dry brushing on the edges and stuff. We might go in and do that. I'm not gonna yet. What I'm gonna do right now is work on our sunflower. How do I get this out of here? You can hand paint your sunflowers too if you want to. I was going to, but then I found this stencil in my box and I thought, no, I'm gonna just stencil it because I'm stenciling the letters anyways. Hey Karen, hi Penny. I see lots of new faces, lots of new names I should say. I don't actually see your faces, but lots of new names. Let me grab some tape just a second. Oh, where did I put it? Okay, might not be able to do that. Hold on a minute. I found it. I'm just getting my craft room moved over to the new house, everything. So I'm still trying to figure out where everything lives in here. Hey Karen, hi Candy, Renee, how are you? I'm not gonna do the words. It's got a thing on here that says, "You are my sunshine." I'm only gonna use the sunflower part. And I tape it down where I want it to go, and then I'm gonna stencil it. And if you weren't on here when we first started, I am using all Essential Stencil brushes. And the words are from Essential Stencil. This is, I think, from Amazon. Welcome, Penny. So excited to have you. So for this part, I'm going to use chocolate sprinkle, which I probably grabbed way too much, to be honest. I'm going to dip it in the paint, and then we're going to swirl it around and offload most of the paint. You don't want to have too much paint when you're stenciling. Just a little bit. So it's going to look like this. And can you guys see good where I'm at here? Hey, Karen. I'm just going to do this part because I want the inside part to be brown, and then we're going to do the golden color on the outside part of the sunflower. And I just kind of swirl it around. So you put it down and just kind of swirl it. You could also dab it. People will stencil differently. This seems to work well for me, so I just stick with it. I'm gonna grab a second plate and I'm gonna grab out some of this color, Golden Sunset, and I'm gonna use that for the sunflower part here. All right, and again, I might have grabbed too much, but I'd rather have too much than not enough, I guess. You just offload it, and then we're gonna do our sunflower. And I don't worry about if it's all perfectly covered or not. Sometimes if it doesn't go, you know, if the paint doesn't cover all the way out into your design, it just gives it a more rustic look, which I like. So I don't worry about it too much. Hey Carol, how are you? And again, just doing your little swirling motion here to stencil that on. And this is going to be in the background behind the words, because our sign's going to say, "Oh, hello there." So this is just in the background. So like I said, if you don't get it perfect, don't worry about it. You can do a second coat if you want to. Usually when I'm selling mine, I do a second coat on them. I don't think I'm going to do a second coat on this part at least, just because again, it's in the background. But maybe on our letters, once we get to that step, we may do a second coat on that part. Depends on how well it shows up the first time. And sometimes, like right there, I just got some on the brown. It's all right. Sunflower's not going to be perfectly colored and separated, so don't worry about that either. Am I in the camera anymore? Here we go. Let me move this down. Let's see. Hello, Robbie from Alabama. I think I'm missing some comments here. Doing good, and you? Learning more things. Oh, good. I am doing well, thank you. I have been taking a lot of naps since I'm not working a day job right now. So that's been kind of nice. I took a nap today. It was nice and chilly, and I hooked up my heating pad and opened the screen door and just kind of hung out with the fan on and chilled. All right, so this is gonna be very light. Let me hold it up into the camera for you guys. Can you see that sunflower? It's very light. You could do a second coat and darken, you know, make it a little bit darker if you wanted to. I'm not. I'm gonna leave it just like that. And then I'm just gonna move my stencil up the board a little bit where I wanna put my next one. Retape it down. I'm just gonna reuse the same tape. I'm gonna sit down. I think I can sit down and still stencil and see you guys better maybe. Sherry from Colorado, hello. All right, go back over here to my brown one and start our next sunflower. And this is what I'm gonna do down the whole board, is just kind of move the stencil along where I want to stencil the next one. So I'll probably end up with, I'm guessing like 4.5. I don't think we'll have room for 5 full sunflowers on here, but it'll be super cute when it's all done. I love putting flowers, sunflowers, different things like that on my backgrounds of my porch leaners. Just adds some dimension and some character to it, instead of it just being the letters, which you can do that too. They turn out just as fine either way, but I like doing this. Like I said, it just makes it a little bit different. Sorry guys, I feel like I'm shaking you. Hopefully it's not shaking the camera too much. You guys are on the table, so the table's moving as I stencil, so obviously you guys are probably moving too. I really like this. I did this one other time for a customer, this exact design. Well, not the exact design, let me take that back. We used the sunflower stencil on the background, and we used an actual stain. It was a little bit lighter stain. So our saying was different. It didn't say, oh, hello there, but they did use the stencil, the sunflowers on that, and it turned out super cute. I'll have to see if I can find a picture and share with you guys later. Hey, Tanya, how are you? Should we do white lettering for our words, or should we do black? Usually I default to black or white lettering for the words. All right, there we go. There's our second one. Let me see if I can hold it up for you guys to see a little bit better. I don't know if you guys are seeing it in the camera. There you go, up close you can probably see it better. It's pretty light, the yellow is off of here, but I like it. Oops, I just stuck my hand in some of our stain that leaked over onto the side here. All right, so then moving down again, just gonna find where I want my next one, place it on the board, and stencil again. So this is pretty repetitive right now. But if you're new to stenciling, it's good to have that repetitiveness so that you can learn. Hello, Laura, how are you? Oops, I dipped into the yellow first. I like to do my dark color first, so let me go do our brown here for our middle part. When I do this yellow part, I'll go back over how I did that for anybody that just hopped on that wasn't sure. So I dip my paintbrush, my stencil brush in the paint like so, but then I'm gonna offload it so that my brush, oops, looks like this. There's not like a big puddle on there. And then you just swirl. I do the swirling method for my stenciling onto the board. So super easy. The trick is to make sure that you don't have too much paint. If you have too much paint, you're gonna have a lot of bleeding, but as long as you offload, you should be good. Renee, welcome. So glad to have you. And again, anybody else that's just hopping on here too, I did put my discount code up in the comments, or not in the comments, in the description of the video, that you can save on your order with Essential Stencil if you use the code Dizzy Designer at checkout. So this stencil just came off of Amazon. I can find a link for you guys later and post it. Well, I can try. I shouldn't say I can. I bought it a while ago. If you mean this particular Tanya, I am doing great. I'm doing good, thank you, Tanya. Hey, Shelly, how are you? I just stuck my arm, I don't know if you guys can see that, in our other sunflower, so it's smeared a little bit. I didn't mean to do that, but that's all right, it'll look fine. It will be all right. So the words that we're going to use, that actually comes from Essential Stencil, and I'll show you guys that in just a second here. We're going to do another sunflower or two. We might actually get 2 full ones on here. I thought we'd get about 4.5, but we might get a full 5. We'll see. All right, so again, just going to peel this off of here. We're going to move it down. I'm going to show you guys real quick the set that we're using for our letters over top of this. It's going to say, oh, hello there, and it comes from Essential Stencil. And that discount code of mine is just Dizzy Designer at checkout. All right, let me clean up the back side of this. It starts to go through after a while. And I just want to make sure that we're starting off with a clean piece. We're not smearing it anywhere. And then I'm going to set this back up. Yeah, we're not going to get a full one on here, another full one after this, but we'll still put one in the corner. Oops, I got my hair and my tape here. And the cool thing with stenciling too is your paint dries super quick. So when we're done with this part, we'll be able to lay out the letters that go on the top. And stencil right over top of it. You don't really have to wait for anything to dry because it's already going to be dry. Or super close to dry. It dries really fast. Hey, Wendy. All right, there's that one. Get back in our yellow here. Sometimes the little hairs do come out, but these brushes last forever. I've had these ones for a long time. Got a hair, little brush hair stuck here too. Here we go. I'm excited to see this one all done. Do you guys actually see the yellow in the camera or not? It is pretty light. I can see it in person, but when I hold it up into the camera, I'm having a hard time seeing it, so I'm thinking you guys probably aren't seeing it either. I'll have to finish it and take a photo later. And when I do my porch leaners to sell, I do seal them with a polyacrylic spray after they're painted and dry, just to make them last a little bit longer since they're going to be outside. But I do always recommend that people use them on like a covered porch or bring them in if it's going to be, you know, wet weather. Hey, Christina. Hi, Terry. Yes, I am. I'm live right now. Finish these last little sunflowers up, and we'll put our top on here. You barely see it too. Yeah, that's what I figured. It'll probably show up better in the pictures when I take the picture after I'm done with it, because I see it in person, but the camera, you don't always see the exact same in the camera when we're live. And I like that it's not overpowering. You want the sunflowers in the background, but you don't want them to jump out and be above, you know, bolder than the writing that's going to be on the board. So if I did them much darker, then it would probably be too overbearing. Hey, Kristen. All right, I'm going to peel this one up, move it down a little. Our last one on here, which is going to be a partial sunflower. Let's go. I'm gonna put this one right about here. I'm gonna need some more tape for this other side. Hello, Debbie. Welcome. Okay, so when you get to the edge and you've got this, you will want to hold your stencil so that it's flat, otherwise you'll end up with bleeding underneath. So when I go to do this part, I'm gonna hold the stencil flat against my board. And hopefully it's nice and flat, and hopefully I'm not putting my arm and my shirt into this other sunflower that's not completely dry, but I bet you I am. Not too bad, I don't think. All right, so we're done with that color now. I'm gonna go back to my yellow, offload it. Hello, Carrie. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Hold this as flat as I can, just so that we don't end up with a bunch of bleeding underneath our lines. Grab some more. You could do any color. I like doing the darker middle, especially with the lighter background on the board. But you could do a darker board if you wanted to, and have your middle part of your sunflower with the lighter color. That would also look good. Okay. It turned out pretty darn good. I have a little bit of smearing, but not bad. So let me stand back up and show you what we're looking like so far. So here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 full sunflowers and then a half of one up here. So I did guess pretty accurately. Hello, Beverly. Let me take a drink real quick, friends. And then I always just reuse my tape as long as I can. So I peel this off of here. I never rinse my stencils. You probably should, but I don't. I can't say never. Probably every like 5th time I use them, I'll wash them, but I don't do it every time. So we're gonna go up here and we're just going to eyeball it onto the board where we want it to sit. This board's a little bit longer. I like to leave more room at the bottom of the board if I have to than the top of the board, because you're going to see less at the bottom than at the top if it's sitting on somebody's porch. So we're going to go, let me look at the bottom here. Looks like it's pretty straight. And then I'm just going to use the tape and tape it back down. And I also tape my pieces together, each stencil. Oops, that's not gonna work. It's gonna go over that line. Hello, Maria from Ontario. Welcome. Hey, Vicky. Hello, Bonnie. How are you? Give me just a second. I'm just taping this down the rest of the way. Let me show you again. Sorry, I feel like I keep moving you, but I want you to be able to see every step. So I just taped it down, and see I left more room at the bottom than at the top. So if it's sitting on somebody's porch, you should be able to see the full thing. Okay, and then did we decide on a color? I think we're just going to use white for our lettering. So same thing, we're going to stencil these words on here. I'm kind of cleaning up my mess here. Sorry, friends. Ugh, there's paint boogers all over in here. Goodness gracious, yuck. See my paint booger? All right, and then I need another stencil brush. Same thing. Get your paint on there. Offload it so there's not so much. And then let me see what's in the camera so I know what you guys are saying here. There we go. You guys should be able to see this now. Hi, Cindy. Welcome. Thank you so much for sprinkling. I appreciate it. Yeah, the paint boogers are no fun. Those drive me crazy. All right, so here we go. I'm going to do the same stenciling method, just the little swirls. And I usually will do a second coat on my letters on top just to make them nice and bright. I don't know if we'll have time to do a second coat live. Let me see where we're at. We probably won't. I'm probably gonna have time to do one coat with you guys. So I have to do a second coat on the letters later and then take a picture of it when it's all done. And I'm not gonna seal this one because it's just for me, but if I'm selling them, I always seal them with a polyacrylic spray. These stencils are Essential Stencil, the Oh Hello There Is. And you can get a discount on your purchase if you use my code Dizzy Designer at checkout. The other one came from, I believe, Amazon, the sunflower stencil, and I'll see if I can find a link to that for you guys when I get off of here. I got that a while ago, so it may not be available anymore. I want to at least get this first coat done. If I can get the first coat done, you guys can see the whole sign. I'll be happy with that. And when you're stenciling too, because you guys probably don't see it up close like I am right now, you can still see the other design underneath what you're stenciling. That's okay. It's not going to show up very prominently on a porch, but you don't have to worry about covering every little thing up. You do still want to make sure that your paint's pretty thin so that you don't have any bleeding under your stencils. Hello, Linda and Cheryl. How are you? Whew, I feel like I'm getting out of breath. Usually these take a while to do, and I'm going as quick as I can to try and fit it all into my live segment. So that's why I feel like this probably. Typically, if I'm doing these kinds of projects, I like to wait until I have a couple of them and do them all at once. So I'll set up the, what do you call them? The horseshoe things out in the garage or something. These are not silk screen. Nope, these are reusable. They're made out of, I believe, the mylar. I think that's what how you say it. And they're just, you can wash them and they're reusable pretty much endless amount of times. I've been using these for quite a while. And to be honest, I don't even wash mine like I should, but you should take good care of your stencils. Make them last longer. But as I was saying, yeah, I try to wait till I get a couple of them, and then I line up all the boards, and I do all the backgrounds first, and then I'll take a little break, and then I'll come out and I'll do all of like the sunflower background. So I'll do the staining or the painting of the board, then I'll do the next layer, and then I'll do the next layer. I'll come out and I'll do the second coat if I need to, and then I spray them all at once, and then it goes a lot quicker. Instead of trying to do one sign at a time, I lay them all out and I just do one step at a time. I like doing it that way. Have you used the silkscreen stencils? Margaret, I'm not a fan of them. I prefer these ones that are reusable, washable. I know they say the silkscreen ones are reusable so many times, but these ones last forever. And I don't ever have, I can't say ever, but I hardly ever have any issues with bleeding or anything like that. I do love these stencils. All right, let me kind of go back up here a minute. I'm just gonna pick it up a little bit. I think I'm gonna leave it with just one coat. Let me peel one piece at a time, and this is how I do it. Yep, I'm not gonna do a second coat. It's dark enough. We're gonna be done 15 minutes early now, but let's stand up and I'll show you. Like I said, I would do the back and the sides as well with the stain color, but because we're doing a live, I was just showing you the front part. So here we go. It says, oh, hello there. And you've got your sunflowers in the background. And they're just light, they're not overpowering. Let me go back through and see if I missed any comments, answer any questions for you guys. You have stencils like I'm using. Some stencils are 30 plus years old. Yes, that's what I like about them. You can reuse them so many times and not have to worry about, I just feel like the silk screens, they don't last as long. Sometimes they're good, but I love some of the designs of the silk screen ones. Let me see here. I'm gonna scroll back up and see if I missed anything from you guys. Hi, Maria. First time watching, thank you and welcome. Let's see. Stencils, I got a lot of questions about who the stencils are from, so let me show you again. These ones are what I use 90% of the time. This one right here came from Amazon. I don't use them as often, but they're pretty good quality too. The essential stencils are the absolute best quality stencil that I found. So this is what we did with the Oh Hello There. And I do have a discount code with them. If you purchase, just type in Dizzy Designer at checkout and you'll save on your order. Or if you know anybody else that's an affiliate with them, you know, use their discount code and just make sure you save when you purchase. Let's see. You haven't used them yet. They're so easy to use, Cindy. You will love it. Thank you, Christina. You like the silk screens, Renee? I do. Like I said, I just like that these ones are endless. Haven't done any for a while. Ooh, that'll be fun, Margaret. I have got some Christmas and July stuff planned for you guys on the page here coming up soon, so I'm excited for that. I don't think I missed any questions, and I must have just painted super fast because I did not think I would get this done in my 45-minute time frame. Hi, Diane. I hate to leave you guys early, but I don't have anything more to do with you, so I am going to hop off of here. If you have any questions, though, please leave them in the comments, and I'll come back through and answer anything throughout the day, the next couple of days. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and make sure you stick around for the next crafter. Hi, Tina. All right, guys. Bye. All right, guys. Bye. I hope you have a good night. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.